So hello, my name is Hugo DEVERCHÈRE. I'm an artist from France, based in Paris. I am here in entity ICC to present Cosmorama for the first time in Tokyo. It's a video that I made back in 2017. The film is a journey through an invisible layer of our environment. The idea was to use a filming technique that is usually used by astronomers to observe the deep reaches of the universe. And so the idea was to reverse the point of view of the telescope and to film through this technique a layer of our own environment. So the film was shot in Tenerife. It's an island in Spain, in the Atlantic Ocean, where there is one of the biggest European observatory. So the film starts from this observatory and then explores the landscapes surrounding that place. And so we explore some geological and some forest landscapes. So the film explores some space and time scales that are usually impossible to comprehend and to see through our own perspective. And so it's the idea of shifting our point of view and rediscovering the world as it does not appeal to us. The idea of the film came from the discovery of an image that was brought to my attention by an astrophysicist at the Paris Observatory. And so it's a fascinating image where we can see more than 1 billion stars. And it was at the time the most accurate representation of what we can see from Earth, from the cosmos. And so it really inspired me because this image talks a lot about what we see and what we can't see, what we know and what we don't know, what we yet have to discover. And so I immediately asked them about the techniques and all the different technical aspects of it. And I asked them if by any chance they already tried to see and depict our own world through this technique. And they didn't, but they told me that if I wanted to, maybe they could help me. So this was the starting point for the project. So we tried to modify the sensor of a digital cinema camera so it would only be able to record the precise wavelengths in the near-infrared spectrum that was used by astronomers to observe the deep reaches of the universe. So it was a tricky operation to act on the primary sensor of the camera, but we succeeded, and then we were able to record these wavelengths that are normally invisible to us. And so when we were on location, I wanted the film to be in a continuous motion. And I wanted also the camera to be at distance so we could recreate a point of view that is outside of a human perspective. So we mounted the camera on a 3D gimbal that was remotely controlled at distance. And this gimbal allowed me to have a freedom of movement in every direction. So I could record in every direction, up and down, left and right, that all became relative. And it was really the idea to recreate a point of view that is outside of the human perspective. And what interested me in filming in an island is that it's almost like a world within the world that I could comprehend as a whole. And so I could adopt perspective that is both macroscopic and microscopic. So the film starts at the observatory, but then we explore different other landscapes that are all comes to a relationship with the observation of space. For example, we have a lava desert where NASA tested its rover Curiosity before sending it to Mars. And after that, we explore a primitive forest that brings us back to the state of all the European continent 15 million years ago. So it's also a way to go back through time and through timescales that we cannot comprehend as humans. That is the timescale of the universe. And because when you look at the sky, of course, you are always looking into the past, because the light travels at a certain speed, and then the further you see, the further you observe, the further you go back in time. And so this was the kind of journey that I wanted to bring back to us as humans. My work deals a lot about the relationship between art and science, and I work a lot in collaboration with scientists. And it's a way for me to make tangible and make physical and make representable some things that are usually outside of our perceptions. So it's a way of making understandable and making perceptible some phenomena that are usually way beyond us. And I'm also very interested about landscape, but not landscape only as a visual phenomena, but as with the many dimension that brings the question of the landscape, like the geological aspect, the biological aspect, the ecosystemical aspects. So I think you need all these layers to fully understand what you are actually looking at when you are looking at a landscape. So many of my projects involve traveling and discovering new places. And so the project I'm currently working on is based on a travel that I made in Chile. And of course, I was interested in going to Chile because there are some of the biggest observatories. I went to the Atacama Desert, and it's also a territory that has a strong relationship between Earth and space. And I was also very interested about how this desert is presenting a lot of mines, as lithium mines, coal mines, copper mines, which are the key ingredients and the key compounds of all the digital devices that we use now to comprehend and to analyze and to restitute information. I don't know where this will bring me, but this is the key things that I'm working on